Very sad news coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Former President Pranav Mukharji has passed away. Former President Pranav Mukharji had been ailing for many days. He was in a deep coma for many days now since he'd been admitted to the army hospital in Delhi. And we just have a confirmation that he is no more. He has passed away. Pranav Mukherjee was the President of India. He was a long-standing Member of Parliament, Union Minister and senior leader of the Congress Party. An active politician for many, many decades. He had been ailing for a while. He had been treated for a clot. He had gone into a coma. He had tested positive for COVID-19. He had many comorbidities. He had been deeply comatose for many days. There were daily updates that had emerged. And now, with a heavy heart, we confirm to you that Pranav Mukherjee has passed away. We're going to get you more details from the army hospital and from Pranav Da's family in just a moment. Pranav Mukherjee, a life very well lived. He last was the president of this great country, and unfortunately he had been ailing for the last few days of his life. He had been treated for a clot. He had gone into a coma. He had tested positive for COVID-19. He had a lung infection. He had renal dysfunction. Thankfully, it was a peaceful passing for the former president of the country. Pranav Mukherjee, a politician who was seen as able, capable, across party lines, a senior leader of the Congress Party, a long-standing Member of Parliament from West Bengal, a union minister, a formidable debater in Parliament as well, is no more. He leaves behind a long political legacy that has spanned a large part of modern Indian political landscape. A man of many colors, of many hats, and he leaves behind a great political legacy that will be envied by many. Pranav Mukherjee was last the president of this country. We're going to have our reporters joining us live to bring us the very latest on the information that we're going to get from the army hospital in just a moment. Pranav Mukherjee has been at the army hospital since the 10th of August. So for the last 21 days, 3 weeks, he has been at the army hospital where he had begun his treatment. Sadly, he slipped into a coma following surgery, and now he is no more. He was declared dead at the age of 84 today by a team of doctors at the Army Research and Referral Hospital. National Affairs Editor Rahul Srivastav live with us for more on this. Rahul, bring us the details on this. Pranav Da no more.
Shiva, really sad news. Actually, what doctors at the RR were saying is that he was what is being called in medical terms a septic shock. And he was struggling. Most of his parameters had gone down over the last few days. And remember, Shiv, a very long political career. It was sometime in 1969 that Prime Minister Indira Gandhi helped him get elected to the Rajya Sabha. And from then on, the man rose to become the President of India. And not only did he become President of India, perhaps in a show that what Pranav Mukherjee really meant in politics, that it is that he was a congressman all of his life, and the BJP government, led by Narendra Modi, accorded him the highest honor of the land, the Bharat Ratna. And that is why Pranav Mukherjee will always be seen as a politician who learned on the job and earned the respect of almost everybody. That even his nomination, his name started doing the rounds as the next president of India as at a time when the opposition actually started talking about it. It was Mulayam Singh Yadav and several other political parties like TMC and others who proposed the name that Pranab Mukherjee should be the President of India. And it, in fact, forced the hands of the Congress. At one time, it is always said about Pranab Mukherjee that he was perhaps the best Prime Minister India never had. In 1984, there was a flight in which senior leaders were traveling. And when Mrs. Gandhi passed away, at that time, Pranab Mukherjee had said, why not me?
Yes.
And he had to pay a price for that in Congress party. But then Congress couldn't do without him. His experience, I think his dexterity. I have rarely seen a politician who could learn on the job. He was not a trained economist, but I've seen him reading out the budget 2-3 times.
And he could remember figures, which was amazing. He could remember budget data for past 3 to 4 budgets, or maybe even 20 years ago. And I think one of the most critical leaders as far as the Congress's transition from the Indira Gandhi era to the Rajiv Gandhi era to the Sonia Gandhi era and Rahul Gandhi perhaps has passed away. And I think in his death, the Congress, when he moved away as president and now, has lost perhaps a leader whose life has been an epitome of what the Congress used to stand for.
Manishankar Iyer, senior leader of the Congress party, with me on the phone line. Mr. Iyer, your reactions on this very sad news of Pranab Das passing, sir?